Bibliophiles of the internet, my name's Adriana, and today I'm here to bring you a special video celebrating 4 years on Booktube. Yes, 4 years ago this day, November 22nd, I posted my first video on Booktube, and a lot has changed since then, but I'm thinking it's been for the best. About a month ago, in preparation for this moment, I went on Twitter and I asked all of you if you had any ideas for videos I could make for my 4-year Booktube anniversary, and I got a lot of great responses. I decided to mash together a few of those ideas. Many of you suggested some variation of the best books I've read because of Booktube and how those books have impacted my life. Then I believe it was Lydia who also suggested that I recommend some of the most memorable books I've read because of Booktube to pass along the positive energy, which I love because I like the idea of giving something back and not only focusing on my experiences, but giving you all something that you can take away. So first I'm going to go through my top 6 books I've read because of Booktube, kind of in the fashion of my best of videos I post at the end of every year where I focus on what I've personally taken away from each book. Needless to say, this list is nowhere near definitive since I've read nearly 700 books since 2013 and I had to pare down this list considerably just to single out these 6 books. First up, of course, is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Elere Sainz. Because this book gave me the words I've always wanted to hear. It showed me that all of us are deserving and worthy of love, and if the power of that love is frightening or overwhelming, it's okay to be scared as long as we realize that we don't have to bear it alone. Next is Howl's Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. For being the most excellent example of radical self-love, the kind of love that changes the fabric of existence and shifts human perception, the kind of love that only comes from claiming your own life and following your own path, because when you choose the story you want to be a part of, it could be the start of something brilliant. Next up is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. Because while love is not a magical cure-all to wipe clean the slate of our difficult lives, it does remain one of life's ordinary miracles. We love instinctively, not in spite of, not despite our experiences, not because love negates or cancels out the ugly parts of our lives. It's something that we reach for to ease the fact that this life is finite. Next is the Fairyland series by Catherine M. Valente. Because it would be easy to choose only to see the happy, wondrous, exciting parts of life, but there is loss, there is darkness, there is uncertainty, and when we look these things in the eye, there is nothing we can't face. Next up is Shelter by Jung Yun. Because sometimes the institutions in life that are supposed to welcome and understand us the most, be they family or culture, can quickly become our greatest source of alienation, and this story explores what a person must become if they reach that point. And lastly, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. Because the ugly parts of the world aren't accidental or coincidental, they were purposefully built into the very fabric of our existence, so far back that we can't even know where they started, but healing can only begin after something is broken completely. Sometimes you need to upset and destroy the way things have always been to try and force a new way of life. Now, of course, by definition, I recommend every single book I just mentioned, but now I want to explicitly recommend some books that I never would have discovered without Booktube that are really special to me, and I hope they can, in turn, become special to you as well. First up is Uprooted by Naomi Novik. It's a YA fantasy about a village surrounded by cursed woods, protected by an enigmatic wizard called the Dragon for the price of 1 girl every 10 years, and it's about Agnieszka who volunteers to take her best friend's place and live out this sentence. I really respond to Agnieszka's refusal to make herself small, the way she refuses to be tamped down by anyone or anything. It's such a wonderful story about discovering your own power and learning how to use that power in service of others. Next up, unsurprisingly, is Homegoing by Yaja C. This is a beautifully crafted intergenerational saga that explores the ongoing effects of Western colonization, and it really contextualizes how the past never stops impacting the present. Even if we don't remember the choices made by those who came before us, those choices have, in a way, determined the measure of our lives. And like I said in my Best of 2016 video last year, just the act of being here and remembering them is truly an act of coming home. Next up is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. What's so powerful about this post-apocalyptic story is that it's not about survival. It shows that the act of merely surviving is the most uninteresting question. It's about rebuilding. It's about the things we cling to when we have nothing left, and how the component that makes this world work in the first place is human cooperation and connection. It's about how when the world is in ashes around us, where do we find that and what do we choose to do with it? Next is Sorcerer to the Crown by Zen Cho. This is an amazing fantasy of manners that comes with consciousness, thoughtfulness, and an unforgiving social commentary. It's all about how privilege is not one size fits all. It comes in stages, it comes in varying degrees, and we need to be able to recognize what form our privilege takes in comparison to others. Complacency and ignorance is so easy to fall into. If we don't use our privilege to shatter the barriers holding back other groups, then it's virtually useless. Next up we have Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is another intergenerational saga, but one that examines Korean citizens who had to take refuge in Japan and how, understandably, they struggled to come to terms with their secondariness. It's about how it's impossible to reconcile your own identity and your own personhood in a place that demands and expects you to erase your culture because it will always be seen as less. This is another beautifully crafted, moving story about how family is the antithesis of placelessness. Lastly, I want to recommend Goodbye Stranger by Rebecca Stead. This middle grade story is one that I felt compelled to mention because it's a story I wish I had growing up. The characters in this story are experiencing growing pains. These friends have made a pact not to fight, but they quickly realize how impossible that is because it's important to recognize when someone or something isn't working in your life. The story is about knowing when to walk away from something that's become toxic. We get to a point sometimes where we don't recognize the people our friends and family have become. Sometimes we don't recognize what we've become, and moving away from that is okay because change is a part of life and not everyone and everything is going to grow and change with us. So those were some of the best books I've discovered because of Booktube, what they meant to me, and of course they all come with the highest recommendation. And I just want to say that this video has been crafted with nothing but gratitude and love, which is what I hope I've shown over these past 4 years. But that is everything I had for this Booktube anniversary video today. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I will catch you on the flip side of the page. Bye!